So you've been on it, you've been building, and this is the culmination of all that work. What's the latest?
Yes, you're right about that, because we hear from local law enforcement precisely what the governor was saying. Every town is a border town, every state a border state in this country. And Harris, our local law enforcement officials, our state agencies, bureaus of investigation, need access to funds to help them fight this. We know that Health and Human Services Office of Refugee Resettlement has completely lost track of 85,000 children that have come into this country. We know that you've got over 250,000 unaccompanied alien children, and they can't find 85,000 of them.
Wow.
You referenced the whistleblower, and what we're hearing is that many of these children are going to individuals who want to use them as child labor. This is something that has to stop. The fact that they do not know if these children are being trafficked, if they are in gangs, if they're being used for drug trafficking, sex trafficking, Harris, they cannot answer the question. But what they do know, it is very intentional what they are doing at this southern border with allowing the border to be open and having all of these criminal non-citizens coming into the country, 11,000 so far this year. Having hundreds of gang members so far this year.
Senator, I just want to sit on that 85,000 children that the federal government has lost track of for just a moment. It was you to this program when we first found out about those surreptitious flights at night, particularly in your state, of little ones. We could see from the video, from the backs of those little, they were very, very young. The federal government has been misusing and losing track of children for a very long time. That number, 85,000, didn't just happen overnight. I just want to point that out, because people may realize and remember, you were the first to tell us that. And then we got the video in that matched your words. I mean, unbelievable. It's a mark against the soul of this administration.
You're right. And these children being sent to people that are using them for labor or putting them into gangs or for sex trafficking.
Or all of
this
the above.
is modern day slavery.
Ooh.
And the humanitarian crisis that this has caused, the fact that this administration continues to say, come on, border wide open. Imagine if you're a parent from one of the 176 countries who had people present at our southern border from those countries, and all of a sudden your child you thought was going to America for education and opportunity, you can't find them. You can't hear from them. You have no idea where they are, in the federal government, who said we're in charge, cannot find them, does not know where they are, is not making the effort to find these children.
Well, and quite possibly wouldn't get on the phone, wouldn't get on the horn to help you find that child, even if they could. I mean, we've also got over 1 million gotaways in this country. Haven't heard any movement on finding any of them either. We're too busy, busy at the Biden border crisis right now. Let's move to this. The judge has ordered the FBI to release records on that 2021 National School Board Association letter. That was the memo, you'll recall, which asked the Biden administration to label parents as domestic terrorists for their protests over curriculum in schools and lockdowns and so on and so forth. We were in a world of hurt coming out of the height of the pandemic in 2021, and the National School Board on September 29th, 2021, decided to write a letter that said that parents were committing acts of malice, violence, threats against public school officials that needed the classification of heinous actions that could be equivalent to the form of domestic terrorism and hate crimes. The judge denied 2 motions from the FBI to dismiss the case or have it decided in their favor. Attorney General Merrick Garland dodged the question altogether on the memo during a Senate hearing last month. Let's watch.
Your employees helped them write the letter, didn't they?
I don't know anything to suggest that that's true.
I think it is true.
Well,
and the White House helped them write that letter, didn't they?
I don't know. I have no knowledge about that.
You issue a directive to your criminal division to start investigating parents who are angry.
Nothing in my memorandum says to investigate parents who are angry.
This looks like you were just giving in to the teachers' unions and politicizing the disagreement, the honest disagreements. Don't you think parents had a right to be upset?
Fourth paragraph, it was 5 days after that original National School Board Association. I mean, think about just how fast the DOJ even acted for these teachers. He said that he was directing the Federal Bureau of Investigation to work with each constituency, tribal, local, state, and to hold meetings addressing the threats against school administrators and to come up with dedicated lines of communication for finding those parents, paraphrasing only the last part there. Senator.
The American people and these parents have the right to know who was in that White House meeting. How many times did the teachers union go to the White House? Who did they work with over at DOJ to cook up this plot to label parents who are concerned about CRT and the fact that that is being taught, are concerned about masks on their children when it makes no difference? They're concerned about those things. They show up to ask questions of their elected representatives, and all of a sudden they're subject to an FBI investigation. You better believe they deserve to know what was behind this, who was colluding with who was working with who participated in writing in that, and why did the FBI and DOJ jump on this issue immediately when it takes them sometimes 6 months to answer a question that we have sent to them, or they can't find Hunter's laptop and it's taking them years to look at that? It shows you their priority is to do what the White House tells them to do. Now, Harris, that is not their job. They are to be the primary law enforcement organization and to do the work of we, the people, with a capital P. And that is not what they are doing. They're doing the bidding of Joe Biden and the White House.
Well, and look, why can't Attorney General Merrick Garland remember his own writing? I mean, his handwriting's on it. I don't understand it. All of that. And I know that you are working to get to the bottom of it there on the Hill. We'll be watching and covering. Senator, always great to have you in focus. Thank you.
Good to be with you.